Hey guys, it's Brianna here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today I have a really fun video for you guys because I want to go ahead and just reset for the new quarter, the second quarter of the year. I want to have kind of like a fresh start and just have a really good start to the spring, which is great for me because my birthday is in April, which is part of the spring quarter. So it's just what a perfect time to, reset, do all the things. But yeah, just random side note, my birthday is April 30th, so I like to celebrate for the whole month, especially the last couple of years. It hasn't been that great. Lots of different reasons why. I am trying to be a lot more active on here. I have kind of gotten back into the swing of things. As of filming this is now April 6th. It's my brother's birthday. I have a video all ready to go for next week. The video will already obviously be posted by then, and then this will come out the following week. And then hopefully once I kind of get the hang of that, I can then start uploading more than once a week. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of break this up into different sections. So like I said, if you are on this video, then you may have seen my previous video and you're probably like, Brianna, that's not your content. I know. I mentioned towards the beginning of the year that I kind of wanted to branch out and do other things other than just bookish, because yes, books are obviously a big part of my life, but there's other things that I still very much enjoy that I would like to talk about on the same platform that I can't necessarily do on like Instagram or Book Talk, because those are extremely niche down. It is so hard to break out of that and break that barrier and talk about other things, if that makes sense. I do want to talk about my other interests, and one of those happens to be Disney. Literally, like my entire life. I already have plans to set up a 30th birthday. Next year in 2024, I do turn 30, so it is a really big birthday for me. And because like I said, this year I do want to start getting more into like celebrating my birthday and everything. I already have plans to go to Disney with my sister, who has never been to Disney World, and I'm already in planning mode, even though you can't buy tickets to Disney yet. They don't come out until June. But you better believe I'm going to plan as much as I can. So I thought that would be really fun to kind of bring you guys on that planning journey. I have planned a previous trip with my best friends. We went in July, right after Book Bonanza. Zero regrets, had an absolute blast. I regret how much money I put on my credit card. Well, we'll talk about that another day. First kind of reset is to talk about that you will see other content from me, specifically Disney related content. So if you're just not interested, I mean, I'm not going to force you to watch it or anything, but I do want to let you know about that those will be coming. I'm going to also add in some of like my quarterly favorites for winter, or like the first of the year, kind of let that part of the year go and move into the next one. However, I do want to ask a question. I feel like I always ask a question. How do you guys feel about wrap-ups? I personally don't typically watch them very often. If that's something you guys are interested in, please let me know, because I would definitely make them if that's something you guys genuinely want to watch, is what I'm reading during the month. I know some creators like Jess from Peace Love Books, Tori from Live a Novel Life, they do like bi-monthly wrap-ups or bi-weekly, however you want to call it. They essentially do 2 wrap-ups for the whole month. They do like a mid-month check-in and that kind of thing. Let me know and I will definitely make them. I just don't know if you guys are interested in them because I just don't personally have the time to watch them myself. Let's go ahead and jump into my quarterly favorites for the first quarter of 2023. Somehow I managed to narrow it down to 5 books. They're books that I've read between January 1st to March 31st. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is going to be Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles. I feel like everybody has read this book or at least have heard of it. This is her newest book that came out in January, I think, right? I like, you can't like not gush about Catherine Cowles. I genuinely adore this woman. She is just an absolute sweetheart. Her books are extremely addicting. That this is her newest series that she has coming out. I'm pretty sure the second book comes out in May, so next month. I'm almost positive, or somewhere around there. Like, I'm so excited. This is just going to be a really good series. Highly, highly recommend. If you have not checked out her books, you are truly missing out on really an amazing author. And plus her covers are stunning. Like, you kidding me? It's beautiful. That is definitely one of my favorites. Another favorite, which again, this probably shouldn't come as a surprise that this would be on my list given the kind of shirt that I'm wearing, but my next favorite is going to be Wretched by Emily McIntyre. This is a Wizard of Oz reimagining, retelling, and I freaking loved it. I loved this book so much. I cannot get enough of this book. I thought it was a really unique take on Wizard of Oz. Honestly, I haven't seen that many retellings that are Wizard of Oz themed. It really holds a very special place in my heart for, you know, Dorothy and all that kind of stuff. And I just really enjoy the story. I like that it took kind of like a mafia turn on it. And it was, I wouldn't say it was dark because I read obviously a lot of dark romance. So I wouldn't say it was like super dark, but it had some dark elements to it, and it was just really good. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did, but I was genuinely obsessed. So now that I've read the entire series, or at least the books that are currently out, I definitely have to say this one and the first book, Hooked and Wretched, are my two favorite in the series so far. Side note, this is for the authors. If you guys are watching this, please make more Lion King inspired books, because the fact that Scar even exists, I loved it, but it wasn't my favorite, but I love that book. Please make more, because that is hands down my favorite Disney movie. Please make more Lion King retellings. That would be great. My next one that is going to be on this list is going to be, I guess, kind of, it's actually, no, I take that back. It is a very popular series. I am going to be talking about The Broken Bonds by J. Bree. At this time, I've only literally read book one. I have the second book checked out. I really need to start it because I'm actually going to lose my loan here shortly. So I need to get started. Y'all, oh my god, like, I don't know what this author puts in her books, but it is legit crack. I don't understand. I have read her Why Choose series called Hannaford Prep. I cannot stop thinking about that series. I probably should do a reread because I am obsessed with that series. It is not for everybody. I'm going to tell you that right now. It is very heavy on the bully aspect. I wouldn't say it's like super dark. Not something I would recommend to everybody, especially if you do not really like bully romance. You're not going to like it. I'm just going to tell you right now. But anyway, this is another series. It actually is now complete, which is why I'm now making my binge through it. I'm just waiting on Libby to give me each book, and now they're starting to roll in, so now I gotta crack down on them. But anyway, I had to put the first book on the series, or on this list, because I have a feeling the rest of the series is gonna get better and they're just gonna make my list as well. So I had to put Broken Bonds on this list because it was absolutely fantastic. Cannot wait to continue. My fourth book on this list, again, is not going to be a surprise, but it is going to be A Worthy Opponent by Katie Robert. This entire series is legit gold. I don't know why it took me so long to get into the series, considering I'm a massive Disney nerd. The definition of a mood reader, I'm sorry. I read Desperate Measures. Actually, did I read it during our Disney trip? Because I was obviously like really excited about the trip and everything, and I could only focus about Disney. I'm somebody that once I like fixate on something, don't forget it. Like, I'm going to fixate on that for a while until I find something else to fixate on. Obviously right now, because my sister basically gave me the okay to plan a Disney trip, I'm fixating on Disney. This book is about Hook and Tink. This book, I cannot. This is hands down my favorite in the series. It is so freaking good. Yeah. I love this series. I am very upset with myself that it really did take me this long to get into the series because, like I said, I am a massive Disney nerd, so it's very surprising that it literally took until this year for me to finally finish the series, but I did, so there's that. My final book on my top 5 of the first quarter of the year is going to be Until You by Kay Bromberg. This is a single dad, like, neighbors romance. The dad has twins, and they are legit the cutest little human beings of all time. They are the cutest, like, I cannot. They are just the sweetest little things ever, and just getting to see our heroine, she kind of like moves in, she has something going on in her past that you find out what happens, and you're like, oh my god. And just seeing her kind of like step out of like, not necessarily like her comfort zone, but kind of like break out of her shell again because of everything that's happened. She just had to like really like close herself up to everything, and just seeing her melt because of these girls, and then just our hero like, literally, I'm not kidding, I don't know what it is. It doesn't have to be single dad, but if it is a single parent, all bets are off. Like, I am sold. It's literally crack to me. I don't understand. So those are my top 5 of the first quarter of this year. So I'm really excited to see what the spring quarter brings me, because I do have some books and kind of like genres that I want to get into, which I'm not going to talk about. So now I'm going to kind of talk about my goals for this quarter. So something that I kind of ran into that became an issue for the first quarter is content burnout. It is pretty much inevitable that every now and then, I mean, it's gonna happen, especially since it's now my job. I am a full-time social media manager and author assistant. It's bound to happen. And I try not to let it affect my work, which is why I had to really put on the brakes and really like check myself and be like, okay, Brianna, you were literally posting content every single day. When is there a day for you to just not do social media? And that's when I kind of realized about a month or 2 ago that I really needed to set strict boundaries for myself and just my work in general, because, and I knew that going in, that I had to set boundaries, I had to set work hours, and yet like it still happened. But anyway, beside the point, I figured it out. We're all good now. Things are getting better. It's all good. Anyway, I really want to be more intentional with my content, which is why I'm getting back into the swing of things and kind of creating what I want to create. I know for a while I kept saying, well, what do you guys want to see? And I'm like, you know what? No. If I keep asking that, nobody's going to respond, and they're going to think that I am just wanting you guys to tell me what to make. And that shouldn't be the case. I should be able to create content that I genuinely want to create, which is why I was like, you know what? I like Disney. Let's make Disney content. So I just want to be a lot more genuine with the content I create. Okay, sorry if the angle changed like slightly. I can't tell if it did or not. My sister called me and I had to take off my phone off of my little tripod, and it was the thing. Anyway, continuing on with my goals for this year is I want to continue working on my debt. Like I mentioned, this is a problem I've created myself, and I'm working on tackling that. That was a very dumb decision, and it is what it is, but oh well. Another goal is I need to purge books. I think I might do a video on books that I'm going to be unhauling. A lot of it is just because I am going to get different editions. I just am never going to reread it. I don't foresee myself reading it because I've had it for years. XYZ, different reasons. Purging books is like truly one of the hardest things. If you like, y'all know it's not easy to do, but it's also necessary because every now and then I do need to clean out my shelves, especially with the collection that I have. I've been collecting books since 2013, so we're almost 10 years into this, and I own easily 1,000 books. And the amount of books that I've purged over the years, I've probably gotten rid of just as many books as I own. Like, it's always changed. So anyway, I actually have multiple stacks. You can't see it obviously, but against my wall I have a ton of stacks going of books that I need to get rid of, because again, that's going to go to helping with my debt situation. Because let me tell you. Anyway, another goal that I want to work on is just reading more for pleasure. I felt like for the first, at least for the first month of the year, not that this is like totally a bad thing, because literally it's my job and I'm not like complaining about it. Like, please don't think I am. That's not my intention, and that's not what I'm trying to get across. But but it's also a double-edged sword, because yes, I want to be able to read more books for pleasure, but then my issue is I get distracted very easily, especially with social media, hence why it's my job. I get really stuck, and once I start reading, I'm like, oh wait, I forgot to do this, or hey, I need to look up this. Like, my brain is always going and doing things. So every now and then I catch myself, I'll literally be in the middle of a chapter and literally pull up my phone to do something. Whether it's literally just start scrolling. And I'm like, why am I scrolling? Like, I am trying to read. So I'm trying to catch myself, at least to say, hey, read 3 chapters, then you can scroll for a couple minutes. It's become a very nasty habit of mine, and I'm trying to work on that because obviously one of my goals is to reach this overall arching 300 books a year. Well, why am I not getting there? Because I'm freaking scrolling. It's a double-edged sword. Another thing that I need to get caught up on that I just don't do it is I guess it's kind of like a reading document of all the books that I've read. I have started it multiple times over the years because I'm somebody that, yes, I read all these books, which is fantastic and everything, but I forget very quickly the books that I read. Like, I couldn't tell you about a book that I read last week. I couldn't tell you what the tropes are. I forget things extremely fast, which is why I'm trying to stay on top of it and create like some kind of Google form, Google document, something to where I have a document saying, okay, you read this book here, here's the tropes, you know, that kind of stuff. That way when I do create content for Instagram here, what have you, it doesn't take me forever to put it together because I already have done all the work ahead of time. Anyway, it's a long drawn out process, but anyway, those are kind of like my main goals. And then kind of like I mentioned already, I have an overarching goal of reading 300 books this year because last year I did absolutely terrible. I don't even think I got 200 books because last year just sucked in my personal opinion. I don't want to keep talking about it because I hated 2022. There was good things that came out of it. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. Overall, it was terrible for me. Just long story short. Anyway, I'm really behind on my goal already because, again, I get stuck scrolling. It's a nasty habit, and I'm trying to stop, but I get sucked in. I'm sorry. So at this time, if I plan on getting caught up on that 300 goal, I'm 22 books behind. Literally, I checked it, I don't know, at the time you guys are seeing this, it's obviously weeks later, whatever, but I checked it about a week ago, and I was 18 books behind. So I've managed to fall 4 more books behind my goal, which also means I don't care if it's a book, a genuinely published book, no matter how long it is, if it is published on Amazon, Kobo, Google Books, what have you, if it is a published book, I'm counting it on my reading goal. I don't care if it's 60 pages long, it's a book. So I'm going to be reading a lot of novellas. So you better believe those will be coming very soon. Especially, I feel like they're really going to help, especially with my attention span recently. I feel like it's going to help with me like accomplishing books. Like, hey, I'm actually reaching my goal because I'm finishing these quicker books. So I think that's also going to help with me feeling better about it as I get caught up. But that's a pretty big goal of mine. I'm not going to like be all upset if I don't reach it. It's just I want to get back to reading a lot more because I'm spending so much time on social media. Anyway, some books that I want to read for the spring quarter or kind of going into the summer, but I definitely want to get to them sooner than that. First is going to be Tessa Hale. She is an author that I have had on my radar, honestly, since she started publishing. My best friend Monica is one of her art creators and I think has pretty much been reading every single release that she's had since. I trust Monica, literally, she's my best friend. Like, I've known her pretty much as long as I've been on this app. We've pretty much been on the app pretty much the same amount of time. By app, I mean Instagram. So I really trust her opinions. I feel like our taste in books have definitely changed over the years, but we still, like, we know what each other likes and everything. So I'm really excited about her books because I have a feeling I'm really going to enjoy them. And then something I've got to finish, y'all. I need to finish the Off Balance series by Lucia Franco. I've literally read the first 3 books. I'm literally on the downhill slope now, and I still haven't read the 4th and 5th book, and it is driving me crazy, especially with how the 3rd book ended. Like, I can vividly remember what happened, not like all the details, but because of like the significant like event that happened, I'm like, I don't know how I haven't continued, but it is a major goal. I'm hoping this April I can get to them. Cross my fingers. I hope that happens. Naturally, I'm going to have a lot of new releases that I'm very excited about. Probably the 2 most excited that I am, that I guess I have been anticipating the most is they literally just came out. It is going to be Highest Bidder by Sarah Kate. This is the next book in the Salacious Players Club series. I read them, when was it? September, I think. I got sick with, you know, the thing, and I got stuck at home as we're supposed to, and I was like, this is literally the perfect time. I've been waiting for a time to sit down and binge them. Let's go. And I'm obsessed. So I'm really excited about this one. Next up is going to be Coach by Devney Perry. I just really like, I mean, who doesn't like sports romance? And I really enjoy her books. It's been a while since I've read one of hers. I'm trying to remember the last one that I read. To be honest, it's been a while, so I'm really excited about this one. I actually got the audiobooks of both of these. So on Audible, I do the 2-month or the 2-credit option where you get 2 credits per month because I go through so many audiobooks. It is my most read platform and it just works out for me. So those are the 2 books that I bought on my credits. And then this isn't necessarily a book, it's more so just a genre. I keep talking that I'm going to get into it, but it has just never panned out for me. But I do want to still get into fantasy romance. I really think we're going to enjoy this because, like, I come from paranormal romance. Obviously, I mean, you can see Muscles and Monsters right there. That's a monsters romance, which is a bridge of paranormal, which is a subplot, subgenre of fantasy. So why won't I love fantasy romance? Obviously, I'm going to get into ACOTAR by Sarah J. Maas. That's kind of a given. I really want to do the dramatized audiobooks because I think that would be a really fun experience to do. And then I'll jump into Jennifer Armentrout with her From Blood and Ash series. That is a tongue twister. And then just go from there. I do want to read, you can kind of see it, but Holly Renee is down here too. I got to meet her at Holidays with the Bell. She was super sweet. And she just released the 3rd book, and I'm pretty sure it is just a trilogy, and it just came out, so I'm really excited. But yeah, so that is kind of my spring reset and kind of where I'm gonna go from here. I really pray and hope that now that I'm kind of resetting and the weather's changing and just getting out of that weird funk that is winter, things will start looking up from here now that I've really set my boundaries, kind of figured out what I'm doing with my life, I feel like. So all of my social media links are down in the description if you guys want to follow me elsewhere. Please stick around. Like I said, I'm trying to get back in the swing of posting again. Until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.